My project is called Cultivating Diversity in Higher Education to Promote Minority Engagement in Legislation. The problem or research topic that surrounds my project is that minorities tend to be the least active in the political realm. I feel that if they are more active, they would see more representation. So, the purpose of my project is to determine a correlation between the cultivation of diversity on campus, such as through organizations, community engagements, and broad social groups, and legislation engagement. I feel that if universities encourage students encourage students and encourage the university itself to be more diverse and promote different diversity organizations, it would encourage students and promote students to be more active in the political realm, and the university would serve as a pre-formal institution of how to involve themselves politically so they can utilize that experience after they graduate. The conference I will be presenting my research paper is called the NASPA Multicultural Institute Conference of Advancing Equity in Inclusive Practice. This relates to my topic because some of the conference themes consist of how to identify and develop different strategies to collaborate culturally, identify how community partnerships positively influence the campus climate, developing strategies on how to support students in discussions around social unrest, and how to support and affirm activism on campus. My project will explore all of these themes and look into the future consequences by promoting activism after graduation. The methodology that will be used is that I studied and synthesized different scholarly journals, case studies, and ethnographic researches. My first point will define diversity and why it matters and why it's beneficial to different universities. When universities cultivate diversity, they collaborate with different social groups to work together to promote benefits for the entire student body. I utilized a finding that an article that I found that discussed the different benefits of diversity and how different students were impacted by different social interactions that took place on campus and in the classroom. This article was called Look at the Impact of Diversity. This relates to my project because it shows the impact of inclusion in universities and how it can benefit students' social experiences. This ties into my overall project because it just shows an example of the benefits of having diversity and involving different students in diversity organizations and discussions. And it kind of identifies what it is and what it means and how to execute it. My next main point will establish how there are different tools to cultivate diversity. So there are several methods that can be used to cultivate diversity in higher education. I have found an article that was a case study that showed how students who participate in activism on a Christian campus and how those actions affect their future ideas of involvement. This was called The Impact of Institutional Culture on Student Activism, a multi-case study in Christian higher education. This showed that students who participated in activism on campus were more likely to explore and want to participate in the future and involve themselves after graduation. This is another example of how diversity and explaining the different global issues that are going on and getting students to be engaged. In this case, it was through missions at a Christian campus, but that influenced them to think globally so they could repay that forward and participate in community and global outreach in the future. My next point will be about the benefits of minority participation in legislation. Now, across the board, you'll see several graphic figures that show the unequalness and the misproportion and the overrepresentation of white voters versus minority voters. So I put these figures on my presentation to show that there's a great disparity between those who are eligible to vote and those who actually turn out to vote in minorities. So minorities can benefit by from universities cultivating diversity by using their diverse backgrounds to promote representation in legislation. They can do this and promote more equitable policies, better changes in the community. It promotes engagement instead of seclusion. One of the articles that I studied was called Inhabiting Latino Politics, and it showed how colleges shape students' political styles and habits. Now, this particular article is related to my project because it shows the benefits of participation and how after minorities and specifically Latinos are encouraged to participate in their political realms and political elections on campus, they can utilize that example and it'll encourage them to want to pursue that after they graduate. Another benefit of promoting diversity on universities will encourage students to participate, and by encouraging them to participate, it also increases and promotes mental wellness. So instead of feeling seclusion, it'll promote engagement and empower the students to change some of the situations that they are in by participating in legislation. I've attached several graphics above that show the different percentages of minorities who are depressed and affected mentally to exemplify how this particular cultivating diversity can benefit them the most. Overall, my research has shown that if universities promote diversity through different tools such as organizations and community engagement, they promote wellness within their students, a global perspective on the world and society, and ultimately promoting them to participate in their legislation in the future. Thank you.